Welcome, everyone. So we're going to be sending this recording out to those who had signed up who actually aren't here yet. So that's no problem. So welcome to everyone. Again, I want to welcome you all. My name is Todd, and Cheryl Chafee is here as well. And she and I are going to sort of host this information session. And I'll reintroduce Randy Boyd again, the creator of the Ashaya Anatomy portion of the training. So I'm delighted that you're here, Randy, too. So I'd like us to start with a short centering. So just wherever you are, if you're in a place where you can close your eyes, then please do so. Sit nice and tall. Just take a couple of deep breaths. And just because it's sort of late in the afternoon, clasp your hands behind your back and just stretch your arms back, lift your chest, shoulders back. Take some deep breaths. Give yourself permission to yawn if you need to yawn. It's actually a very relaxing gesture. It opens the throat, increases oxygen. And then release, eyes closed. Join your index fingers and thumbs, palms down. And focus on your breath. Let's open to the bigger energy. And when you exhale, just let go of any events of your day. Release any worries, burdens, obstacles. Let's open to the bigger energy. When you inhale, just invite the light of the universe to fill you, permeate every cell. When you exhale, hips heavy. When you inhale, the heart is light. Let your head just float upward toward the infinite, vast, spacious sky. And feel the distinction between the solid earth and the vast, subtle sky. And open to your fullest potential, a vision for your life, and see yourself as fully empowered, joyous, smiling, and fulfilled in all that you want to do in your life. And then find the place between earth and sky, deep in the heart, and just draw into your heart. Soften any edges of your heart and just embrace yourself. We offer ourselves acceptance for whatever may be happening in life. Let everything be just as it is. And then tune in to the deepest desire of your heart. What is it that your heart most deeply desires? And try to envision the kind of practices and lifestyle and community you'd like to be associated with. And just see yourself supported by friends, uplifted by a deep tradition of teachings, and see yourself effortlessly taking the next step on the path of your heart with so much support. And each step you take on the path is a step closer to you, your purpose, why you're here, and the fulfillment of some dream you have deep inside, to be of service, to be completely at peace, joyous, fulfilled. And then bring your palms together in front of your heart. May we be open and receptive to learn, to be able to ask questions and be heard, and to really see if this training is in fact the right next step for you. And then take a deep breath in and let's chant Om together. Om. To the light in your heart, gently bow. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Namaste. Welcome back. It looks like we have one more person joining us. Ted? Sorry? The person named Sue. Oh, okay. All right, good. So there's Susan Mister, and there's also Sue, doesn't have her video on. So that's totally fine. Welcome, Sue. I also want to welcome Stephanie, who is Ashaya's administrative assistant, and she takes care of, everything, we could just say. She's handling the logistics, and she'll be with us for the teacher training for the duration of that. So wonderful. So let me start with just a little bit of an introduction to the training and to let you know just a few things about it. Then Cheryl's going to continue on with more things. So this is a 200-hour teacher training. There's Sue, hi. And the first 38 hours, which are the first 3 modules, constitutes the Ashaya deepening, which is required to go on to the Ashaya awakening teacher training. And the deepening is 38 hours of in-depth training in the method. The purpose of that is to really set the foundations for instruction in yoga, to learn how to align your body. And we're going to go in great detail, more detail than in any other course that I offer, because it is a training, as well as the fundamentals of the philosophy, which is just such a beautiful tradition. I'll say a little bit more about that in a moment. And it's also a time really to get to know your friends. And in the Ashaya deepening, you have a choice at the end of it to go on to continue with the rest of the training or to stop there. So people that don't really want to become a teacher, then that's fine. But I always say, like, if you want to deepen your practice, just learn how to teach it. Because the act of articulation of how to show someone how to do a posture means you have to really know the pose yourself inside and out. And I've had many students come in, they're not going to do the whole thing. They take the first 3 modules and they get so much out of it that they just say, wow, I'm just going to keep going. And so we make space for that if that's really your intention. What's different this year than what we did last year is you have to be in the teacher training as a teacher or as someone that would go through all the exercises to be a teacher. Whether you teach or not at the end of it is up to you. We had people go through the whole training as students, like in a student role, but this year we're saying, the student role is really just the first 3 modules, and then after that, we're committing to going into being in the role of learning how to teach, which, as I said, has the value of really learning the poses in such a profound way. So, stay open to that. So one of the features about this training that makes it really unique is Ashaya is the #1 training online that integrates body, mind, and heart with the 5 elements through the 4 essentials of the Ashaya method. There's no other training that does that. So there's a lot of depth to the method itself. And the whole point of this is not just to become flexible and strong and vital in our body, which is of course important, but it is to recognize that the practice of yoga is so much more than just a physical workout. You will get stronger in your body. You'll develop a better sense of balance, more flexibility. You also learn about the anatomy of your body and how to align it better. But we do a lot of work with how to balance body and mind. How to focus your mind. There's a lot of meditation, mantra meditation, breathing exercises, how to actually find deep calm inside, inner peace, where we can then make better decisions and choose more wisely in our life when we're centered. And there's a component that I call emotional agility, learning how to embrace and welcome and actually work with our emotions, which are just emotion, energy in motion. I like to say, like, there's a yoga of the body, but there's also a yoga of the mind, a yoga of the emotions. And so the whole point, which is part of the tantric philosophy, is to weave back together the dispersed parts of ourself into an integrated, meaningful matrix of relationship. It's not even so much about solving problems. It's about having the relationship. So your channels are open between your mind, your heart, your body. And, I call that holistic. So it's a very deep kind of integration, which results in more happiness, more fulfillment. And it's just extraordinarily rewarding when you start to work on all those levels. The Tantra that I teach it's called Shaiva Shakta Tantra. It's non-dual, which I won't go too much into the explanation of it, but is one of the most, if not the most esoteric philosophies, meaning the most expanded, because it states that everything in the material world is infused with divine energy. So we learn how to sort of walk the sacred path as householder yogis, to learn how to embrace, the ups and downs of life, to embrace our own desires, to learn about our ego. So many methods want to just kill the ego or, dissipate, dissolve the ego. That's really what's in the way. The tantric tradition that I teach talks about the ego as being a vessel for divine intervention, and that the ego becomes the gift of our embodiment. So a lot of the training is how to help you find your gifts, your authentic voice, so that you can be a vessel, a conduit of the divine energy like no one else on this planet, because you are you, because you are a unique, one of a kind, talented individual. And something happens to our life when we really step into our divine identity as ourselves, and doors open. It's like magic starts to happen in life. Opportunities come. Finally, you wake up and it's like you're living the dream that you've been wanting to dream. And that's what happened to me when I first came to yoga. And suddenly, as I followed my heart, which had a lot of twists and turns, I look and I see, God, I am still living my dream. And it's a very beautiful realization once we step into that. So the body, mind, and heart integration is fabulous. You're not going to find that anywhere. And the teachings from the Tantra are very, very poignant and make a difference. I know many of you have already read it, but I wrote a memoir philosophy book called Tantra Yoga, Journey to Unbreakable Wholeness. And many of the teachings that we give in this training come from that book, and they're sourced in the depth of the tantric tradition. It is a required book, but I think it's just a great book. Like if you want to sample what are some of the teachings, that they're right there. So those are a couple of things. Cheryl, I'd like to just welcome you and have you introduce yourself for a bit and tell us what else about the teacher training that you're looking forward to.
Excellent. Well, hi everyone. I'm Cheryl Chapey, and this is an honor to be here co-teaching this course with Todd. We've done it now together 2 years in the past, and it's just been fabulous. It's so much fun to be with everybody from wherever we are. I find that having the ability to take this course online is not an obstacle, but it's really a blessing. It's really been a wonderful experience. So there are a few things I think about this particular online training that really make it stand apart from other online trainings that you could take. The first one is that it's over 200 hours of live online training. So we're here together. You're not at home watching videos by yourself. You always have the ability to pop in and ask a question and get your confusion, if there's any, cleared up immediately. So you're never left wondering. We're watching you as you're doing your practices, so we can give you individual alignment instruction. It's like the next best thing to being together in the same room. So I think this is really wonderful that it's all live. I love that. The second really important thing is we have an amazing team of mentors. So throughout the 7 months of the program, you're going to receive an unprecedented one-on-one mentoring from amazing teachers. And you'll get a chance to get feedback from all of us, like every step of the way, where you do these little practice teach sessions. And at the end, we give you feedback. We let you know what you're doing really well. We let you know what you can work on for next time. And we give out the different parts of how you teach sequentially. So we start like really basic. You just talk somebody into one pose, and then by the end of the course, you're teaching a whole class with a theme and instructions and mirroring and all kinds of great techniques that help you become a really magnetic yoga teacher. People are going to want to just flock to your classes when you're done with this program. It's incredible. The third, I think, really important aspect of the Ashaya teacher training is the community. We're all heart followers here. So we're all in a place of wanting to live and lead from the heart rather than listening to the little committee in our heads that, tell us why we're not good enough to do this or why we shouldn't do that. But, and so we're all here encouraging each other. You get to have a lot of interaction with the other students in the course. Even online, we put you in like support groups, so you have contact with other people throughout the times when we're not meeting together. We'll put you in breakout rooms with one or two other students so that you can work through some of the exercises, you can bounce ideas off each other. And we all practice together every morning of the training. We have sadhana. And it's this spiritual community that really allows us and supports us all in our growth and expansion as teachers and as students. Yeah, those are the three like really big things about this training. And I think, I've been teaching for a long time, and I've taken several other teacher trainings, and I've even taught some other teacher trainings. And I'm here because I truly believe when Todd says this is the #1 yoga teacher training in the world, I'm convinced. Absolutely 100%.
Thank you,
I
Cheryl.
apologize that my lawn guys are here, so I don't know if you can hear.
I heard that. I thought maybe your husband was weed whacking inside your studio.
Yeah, no, it's the lawn people. Sorry.
Thank you. Everything you said was so true. And I want to underscore a couple of things. So I also believe this is a one-of-a-kind training that has morning spiritual practice that goes really, really deep into pranayama and the essence and the technique of the art of breathing and the use of mantras. So we use japa mantras, we have silent mantra meditations, we have chanting. And it's put together in a really beautiful flow. And it's the first thing that we do when we come together is this spiritual practice. And I encourage those in the training to commit to a daily practice. And many of them do. I've talked to some graduates from 2 years ago. They are still doing what we call the Ashaya Kriya practice, which you'll learn every single morning. And that is actually what I do every morning is the Kriya practice. So that morning sadhana is great. And one of the benefits if you join this time is that you get a free membership. And the Ashaya membership is 4 classes a week. It's every Tuesday and Thursday, plus there's a whole bunch of videos you can watch. And what we want is that the teachers who are in training to become Ashaya teachers immerse themselves in the practice during the training, but also in between. So I think this is a brilliant idea so that the teachers who commit to the training, you get 7 months of free classes in between. It will keep your practice completely fresh. And although we'll have different mantras and the sessions are a little bit shorter, you'll be able to adapt the morning sadhana that you learn as a teacher, which is a little more advanced, and incorporate that into the membership classes. So I'm very, very excited about that for the students who come and take the training. And the other piece I forgot to mention is, and what makes this training so unique, Cheryl mentioned it because we are heart followers. How to open our hearts, how to step into the flow of the heart, how to follow it so that we're tracking with what our heart most deeply desires in our life. It demands us to be able to teach from the heart. And so we have all these exercises to help us open our hearts, to feel more secure in ourselves. A lot of times we close down because we're protecting our vulnerability, and vulnerability, like we're afraid that we feel unworthy, or we have a fear of feeling deeply inadequate inside. So then we protect with the shell so we don't have to feel those feelings. Well, the training is designed in such a way that we support you to slowly, when you're ready, remove that protection, to let yourself really feel the vulnerability, because you cannot heal what you cannot feel. And so there's a big part of that, but you won't feel unless you feel safe. And you won't feel safe unless gradually over time, you start to open your heart and you're surrounded by other heart followers who are also opening their heart. So the point I'm trying to make is we teach our teachers how to teach to the heart of the student. So it's not just you're going to be experts in giving instruction. That's a given. We're going to help you do that. But it's the special quality to teach from your heart in such a way that opens the heart of your students. And to me, that's the deepest purpose of why I teach. Because when somebody opens their heart, their life gets better. They start to heal, their relationships clear up, and they start to feel genuinely happy. So I think that's the whole point. So before we get into the details, and I'd love to hear your questions too. Cheryl, did you want to add anything? And then I would love, because Randy's here, I'd love to invite Randy to say a few words as well.
Now let's hear from Randy.
Okay.
Because the anatomy training is an incredible part of this program.
I agree. Hey, Randy.
Hey, yeah, so I'm really excited that this training is happening again this year. And Todd mentioned that the method blends body, mind, and heart. And that's really the way that this anatomy program is designed. The mind is the knowledge, and we have to have a certain amount of knowledge of anatomy. But what you'll find is underneath that knowledge, that the way that the body is designed really is a reflection of tantric yoga philosophy. And for me, the most important of tantric yoga philosophy, that you are divine energy infused, you are a material form of divine energy. And what really lights me up is the method. The alignment essentials are based in really solid science, medical science. And when you put those three together, they just all feel, they all thread together. They all weave together in a beautiful matrix of anatomy, of mind, body, and heart.
That's wonderful, Randy. It's so true. And you guys will see when you're in the training, Randy is also an expert teacher, and he's just a delight to be with him. He's got a little bit of that Southern drawl, he's like so in his heart. He's from West Virginia, and we adore that about Randy, and I'm sure you will too. So thanks for coming on, Randy.
Sure.
So I'd like to open it up. I know, Jennifer, you and I had a conversation already. I'd love to hear from Sue. I'd love to hear from all of you, and Susan and Ted, if Ted is still on. Let me see if Ted is. Yeah, that's great. Ted took the training. Ted, was it last year or was it 2 years ago? I think it was 2 years ago. Anyway, I just want to open it up. So please tell me, what are your questions? And I mean, here's a better way to ask. What's stopping you from taking the training? what's in the way of you actually just registering for it right now?
There's nothing stopping them. They're all getting ready to sign up.
They're busy signing up right now.
In
Jennifer,
fact, yeah, I'm gonna put the link in the chat so they can
yes, do. Jennifer,
sign
what
up.
Jennifer, how are you doing in your process? Have you registered yet? Or you, because I know you were pretty sure you were going to do it.
I'm doing quite well with it. I'm just over the mountain, I'm thinking. So I haven't signed up yet, but I know I have until the 4th based on the things that we discussed that are available. So
Yeah.
I'm close. I'd say I'm 3/4 of a way through the race. I'm on the other side of the mountain.
Okay.
Just working a few fine details out.
All right, that's good. I think if you're on the other side, maybe you're just going to glide into it, and the whatever stands in your way, you'll be able to work out. But is there anything specific that is kind of in your way that you want to just put out there?
Well, it cleared on its own. I was concerned because the job that I have Monday through Friday during the 8 to 5 type hours, they were making people work weekends, take a month of having to work on Saturdays or Sunday. And so I thought, wow, that's all kicking up because it's this busy time for this insurance industry through March. And I thought that could be potentially like this obstacle, right? Or just like a hiccup. So when we discussed that, however, I did get the schedule I bid on, which is Monday through Friday, the one that I wanted almost, not having to work weekends, it doesn't look like. So that's moved out of the way. And then I'm just working on, getting my finances and all of that situated and
Sure.
everything. So that cleared itself on its own last Friday, actually.
Well, that's wonderful. I will just mention a spiritual teaching that once you commit in your heart, the universe will work its magic to work all those little things out such that the universe forms around your intention. We talk about being co-participators with grace. Sometimes grace leads and we follow. Other times we lead and grace follows. And it's kind of like sort of the shower of providence. When you actually make a commitment, all kinds of things start to line up in your favor, not because it's just happening randomly, but because you actually committed to something that you know you want, that you know is good for you, and some of the insurmountable obstacles, and I've heard this from students, clear up. We had someone, Sheila from Zambia, Africa, took the course. Okay, so she's like 8 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, like a different time zone. So, it was early for us. It was midnight for her. And she did it, and she passed with flying colors. Like, her dedication was amazing. So I've just seen, stay with, I think in life, what's really important is to know what it is that you want and try to align yourself with that. So thanks, Jennifer. I look forward to seeing you there. You guys know we have all kinds of financial plans too, if money is an obstacle for you. We have 2 different kinds of payment plans, and there's a variety of different scholarships offered. So they're all listed on the website.
Todd,
Yes.
could
Hi,
you
Steve.
tell us, hi, could you tell us a little bit about the schedule and the time commitment?
Sure. But first, Sue, where are you calling from, or where do you live?
I am calling from Carthew Bay in Ontario, Canada.
Where? Oh my goodness. What lake is that on? Or is it on the?
Lake Simcoe, Georgian Bay.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
that area.
gorgeous. Yeah. I'm leaving tomorrow for Tillsonburg, Ontario to teach a weekend.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's nice.
I know, I'm really excited. So welcome from Canada. All right, so the modules, for the first 3 modules, we start at 7 p.m. Friday night. And then there's early morning, morning, and afternoon sessions. There's no evening sessions. So Saturday we start at, I think it's 7 a.m. or I think it's 7:30 a.m. And then there's a little break for breakfast. So we do our meditation first. Then we have, I believe, 9:30 to 12:30, a 3-hour morning with breaks, and then hour and a half lunch, and then 2 to 5. And that's Saturday and then Sunday as well. And Cheryl, do you remember for the Shaya deepening? I think we're done at like 1 o'clock on.
We finish at 12:30 on Sunday.
Okay. So for the first 3 modules, we're done at 12:30 on Sunday. And there's no sort of required homework. If you plan to go on to the Ashaya Awakening, which is the teacher training component, there are required books. There's 3 or 4 books, and there's a reading list. So we encourage people to just start reading right away, because it will help you during the time so you don't have to cram. And then in between the modules, there are assignments to do. So there's some sort of summarizing of what you've read, reflecting on what you read. And then there's some teaching assignments also. So you write out a class. I think there's a theme assignment. And there's, we do ask you to set up meetings with your support group once a week or once every 2 weeks in between the modules. But that's just like a 45-minute Zoom meeting so that you stay connected with your people.
And that's for how many weeks?
Well, we have 10 modules. It spans over 7 months. So it starts November 3rd. And I think we do about 2 weekends a month. Sometimes it's just 1 weekend in that month. And if there's a way, Cheryl, can you post the schedule?
I think I can post a link to the schedule. Yeah, let me grab that.
That would be great. And then, Sue, we have, when the teacher training starts, that's module 4, it's a 5-day course, Tuesday night to Sunday. And I think that one ends around Sunday, 12:30 or 1. And then after that, it's all weekend modules until the last module, which is a 4-day module, Wednesday night through Sunday.
Okay. All right. And most of this information's on the website?
Oh yeah, all of it is right there. And
All
Cheryl,
right. I'll check more closely.
Cheryl's going to post it.
I just put the link to the PDF that has the full schedule on it. The whole
Thank you.
schedule isn't right on the website, but if you click this link, you'll get the PDF. You can download it.
And I think
Okay. Thank you.
I think that also has the curriculum outlined on it too, so you see what topics we're going to be studying. Good. Jennifer.
Yes, thank you. And thank you all for this. This is just lovely. I did want to ask about the live times for the like the classes that you're teaching during the week on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Does that start at 8 or does that start at 7? Those additional options we get for the 7 months of the duration.
Yeah, so the membership classes are Tuesday and Thursday. And the meditation is 7:20 to 8 o'clock. And the asana sessions are 8:15 to 9.
Okay. And then if I have to start working, like if I join some of it, I can always do the video, and that helps me with the time that I'm putting in for our coursework and the hours I have to accumulate. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep, you can go back and watch the video. Yeah.
Okay. And on the assignments, when we do our reflections on the books and our reading, and that those are written assignments that we'll be turning into you and Cheryl, is there like a certain number of words that you're looking for? Like, are we talking 500-word essays, or are we talking shorter, briefer, or longer?
Yeah.
Whatever
We're
comes close.
looking for clarity and brevity. So we don't want to read, a 20-page essay. Usually 1 to 2 pages is.
Thank you. I feel I'm going back to college again. Thank you so much.
No, we don't want your dissertation.
Okay.
Just enough to get your ideas on the subject matter, and
There's
Thank you.
no extra credit for long-winded papers. Yeah. And then we have vocabulary quizzes. that are done in the session.
They're so fun.
They're really fun. So there's about 80 words, and we break it down into sets of 10 or 15. And then every module, like we tell you, you get in your manual, like what all the quizzes will be ahead of time. And we invite you to quiz each other in your small groups in between the modules and just to learn them. And, you know, they're the Sanskrit words that make up the poses, you know, like vrikshasana. You have to know what vriksha means, which means tree. So there are terms like that that are relatable. Some are related to the philosophy. So it's nice because it's a, you know, non-pressurized way to learn, but there's just enough pressure because you know that the quiz is coming. So you get ready for it.
And then at the end of the course, there's a take-home exam that's pretty comprehensive, but we give you like 2 or 3 weeks to fill it out. And everyone, you know, everyone passes. If you get less than a certain percentage, you take it again and resubmit it. So everyone passes the exam. So there's no pressure.
It's great.
Well, thanks, Sue, for coming. The program does start in November. So and the early bird discount is coming up. So if you're thinking about signing up, if you sign up before October 6th, you get $400 off, which is a really great deal. And you get to start the membership right away. As soon as you're paid in full, your Ashaya membership, those Tuesday and Thursday classes online with Todd, that's going to start immediately. So
Yeah.
that's an extra like $700 or $800 value, depending on when you get started with that. It's really amazing.
And that's part of the early bird too. You have to pay in full, but if you do, then you get this extra month. You know, you would get the month of October thrown in as well for the membership. So, Susan Mitzner.
I did sign up for the first part. My
Great.
questions are, I am already Kripalu certified. I did all my certifications and I did my other Kripalu, my other yoga certifications, and I was teaching and teaching. Got discouraged because most of the, moved from New York City 22 years ago down to Durham. And I was teaching at the Y and teaching at the different gyms. And what discouraged me was nobody really, they wanted to do it as an exercise. It was commercial. And if I wanted to do it from the heart, maybe 1 or 2 of my students who did go on, I do have a student that went on to get her Kripalu certification because she loved that piece. The spiritual piece. I also had my certification with Iyengar. And then for many years, I think about 5 or 6 years ago, I stopped teaching at the gym and the Y and all that. And because I was too involved with, you know, my work. And I actually just about finished finally, my doctorate.
Wow.
Look at how many years it took me. I've been working on it for years and years, and believe me, and I'm really very involved with math education. So I'm involved all over the US and different districts and education, rich education. But I want that for yoga too. What's missing in our society and what's missing in this world is not this richness and understanding. When I work with my students, and I was a director at a college for so many years, I always came from the heart. And that's why I want to start with this. So my question is, okay, I did pay up for the beginning.
Okay.
I didn't want to do anything past because of my age. I mean, I don't know if I want to go into teaching, and I might go into some of those senior homes and teach yoga.
Yeah.
I think it's a good thing, especially I'm their age.
Susan, that sounds like a brilliant idea. And because you're a doctoral student, you know how to teach. You've been teaching from the heart.
Well,
I think you're going to totally ace this. And then what happens if you graduate, then you can apply that certification to teach seniors, and you'll just, I don't know, I think you're going to be a really popular teacher because you're in your,
missing. I mean, I did do it with students and with other professors, cohorts and stuff, and I've done that.
yeah,
But coming back and reuniting to you, Todd, because I did follow you when even after I moved to Durham, I was coming up to New York City when you had I think it was Anasora, and then I was in Asheville, but it got difficult and expensive to travel. So
Yeah.
to me, this is like a dream come true. I have you right here on my screen. But financially, that's another thing. I'll have to see how I am in 3 months because I am retired. I'm not teaching,
yes.
quote unquote. I actually retired.
Susan, you would qualify for the teacher's discount
Oh,
because you took trainings. I mean, I'm sure you were Yoga Alliance. You took Yoga Alliance approved courses if you did the Kripalu course
oh yeah.
and all that. So that's an additional $500 off.
So I could talk to Stephanie about it and you about it.
Yeah. And then what we do is we have a special plan. Those that just, paid for the Ashaya deepening, you can then pay for the rest of the course if you decide to go on. There's like a little bit of a bump for a, admin fee. But I don't know. Call Stephanie. She's a magician. She might be able to wave her wand and make something good happen for you. So
And also, I have to figure. I just turned 79. Will I still be here?
okay, Susan, we're gonna let go of this age barrier, which is a self-inflicted limitation. You are so energetic. You're like not a day over 49, and you can do this. And we always tell people to modify, for shoulder stuff, hip stuff. So
Occasions, right?
but you are mentally, emotionally, in your heart with no obstacle. I think age is actually an asset for you. So I would love to invite you to reconsider, sort of reframe your thinking around this, that if you are heart moved to do this training, there is nothing to stop you to fulfilling that dream of yours. And I would wholeheartedly support you.
Thank you. And I'm excited about starting.
Me too. I'm glad. We have to finish up, but I just wanted to have a shout out to Ted there. Ted, great to see you. Ted, are you considering possibly doing the repeater to retake the course? It would be wonderful to have you redo it if you wish. Yeah, that's fine. I think you have to mute your video to get audio.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, the signal's a little weak. There you are.
Yeah, I just tuned in to encourage, if you can hear me, any other wayward people who were back in, my situation 2 years ago. And you can't project where this is going to go and where this is going to take you when you're a neophyte and you're just getting your feet wet in the water. And it was, a stretch for me in every way. But I continue to come alive to it. I take a little, get distracted and, take my little break here with taking care of mom. It's always take it day by day. So I'm just sitting here and being in touch with you people is inspiring. I remember it was not easy But anyway, yeah, I'm thinking about it now. I wasn't thinking about it now. I was just gonna say hi, and it's great to see people. But yeah, I'm thinking about it. Thank you, Todd.
You're welcome, Ted. So, Ted, you are so dedicated. You're also super smart. I remember some of our conversations, and you were just like asked these incredible questions that deepened the experience for everybody there. And you were so new at doing yoga. I was impressed. So, I really think, Ted, you're an old soul in a young body, and you just rose to the occasion, and you really did an amazing job. So I would love to welcome you back. The second time through, what I hear is students report they get even more because there's no pressure, there's no stress, like you don't have to do any of the homework, like you've already done all that. And then if you do the classes, you'll get this whole next level of mentoring. And that's actually a good preparation for Ashaya licensing if you should ever want to go on for that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Thank you.
hope you're able to do it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ted. And of course, the repeaters rate is 50% off. So every year we have a couple of people that jump in. Maggie's going to come back and do it. She's going to be a mentor. So, all right. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I want to thank you all for showing up and considering the training. I hope you decide to take it. And thank you, Randy, for chiming in. And Cheryl, as always, thank you. It's a joy to share this and everything else that we do in Ashaya together.
It's so great to be here together and with everyone that came today and those that are watching the recording. We really look forward to hearing your questions. So feel free to send us an email or call the office, and we'd love to talk with you.
Yeah, and I'm doing free calls too. So if anybody has a question, you can book your free call. There's a little button on the website too, if you're having doubts or if you have a question. So we can set that up. Okay, and Stephanie, thank you as well for all your support with everything. Okay, well, why don't we close with an Om? Why not? So bring your palms together in front of your heart. We open our hearts to call down the showers of grace, to give us a sense of fullness, to open up a path in front of us that is filled with hope, with the promise of deep fulfillment, happiness, joy. This life is so short. All of the tantric teachings point to, we're not here to just drag ourselves through it. We're here to learn how to dance, to be light-footed, to be light-hearted, and really bring the gift that we have inside of us out to share with others and with the world. And in this sense, we open to the one light that illumines us all. We breathe the one breath that breathes us all. May we connect to the source of that spirit of oneness as we take a breath and chant Om. Om. Namaste. Thank you so much. All right, look forward to seeing you there. Be in touch. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening. Bye, everybody.